Gramática. El superlativo con ísimo, ísima. To add emphasis to some adjectives, you can attach the ending ísimo, ísima, ísimos, ísimas. This suffix can be translated as something like very, really, extremely, super, quite. It is used when you are trying to use the adjective to a high degree to indicate that it is very, very much so. And notice what we are going to do. If the adjective ends in a vowel, drop it before adding the ending. Sabroso, sabrosísimo. Ese pollo estaba sabrosísimo. That chicken was really good. Really tasty. Bella, bellísima. Esta cocina parece bellísima. This kitchen seems very pretty. Agrios, agrísimos. Esos limones son agrísimos. Those lemons are very sour. Extremely sour. Dulces. Notice it ends in e, so it's going to be the same for the masculine and the feminine. But when we do the superlative, we are going to distinguish between masculine and feminine. Okay? Fresas is feminine. So we're going to make the superlative feminine. Aquellas fresas eran dulcísimas. Those strawberries were very, very sweet. Super sweet. Now, there are some spelling changes, right? Because the vowel is going to change from O, A into I. We're going to change the spelling for C, G, and Z, right? Remember, same thing as with verbs and other words. C is going to change into Q and the silent U. G is going to change into G with a silent U again. And Z is going to change into C. Rico, riquísimo. El pescado salado está riquísimo. Largo, larguísimo. Era un larguísimo camino hasta Jerusalén. Feliz, felicísimo. Vivieron felicísimos el resto de su vida. Gramática. El imperativo formal para usted y ustedes. And that would be commands, right? The imperative is used to order or tell others to do something. And that's what we usually call the imperative form of a verb. Now, there are some that we would consider regular usted, ustedes commands. To form usted or ustedes commands, take the yo form of regular verbs, most stem changing verbs, and many irregular verbs in the present tense. Remember some of these present tense yo forms are irregular, even those we can use most of the time for usted and ustedes commands. Drop the o and add the following endings. E for usted, en for ustedes, for are ending verbs. A for usted, an for ustedes, for er and ir ending verbs. If you notice, if you want a trick, it's kind of exchanging the vowels, right? Because in the present tense, we use a, an for are ending verbs, and we use en for er and ir ending verbs. So we are kind of switching the vowels around between conjugations, right? For the imperative tense. So for example, we have hablar. We look for the yo present tense form. Yo hablo. We take the o away, habl, and we add the r endings. Usted, hable. Ustedes, hablen. For er and ir verbs, same thing. We're going to look for the yo present tense form, como, abro. We're going to drop the o, and then we're going to add a for usted and an for ustedes. Usted, coma y abra. Ustedes, coman y abran. Let's take a look at the stem changing verbs. Remember, cerrar changes the e to ie. Yo cierro. We're going to drop the o. We're going to get the stem, cierr, and we're going to add the r endings. Cierre usted. Cierren ustedes. Volver, another stem changing verb. We're going to look for yo in the present tense. Yo vuelvo. Drop the o and add the endings for er verbs. Usted, vuelva. Ustedes, vuelvan. Same thing with pedir, right? Stem changing. So we're going to add the ending with the stem change. Usted, pida. Ustedes, pidan. And remember decir? Decir was a stem changing verb, but it was also an irregular yo form in the present tense. Yo digo. Do you remember those go ending forms? Well, many of those are going to be used for the commands. Usted and ustedes commands. Usted, diga. Ustedes, digan. And very easy. To make a command negative, just add no before the imperative usted and ustedes form. Pruebe el té. No pruebe el té. Coman la merienda. No coman la merienda. Añada más sal. No añadan más sal. Sometimes we have irregular usted and ustedes commands. And remember, most of the time, those irregular forms come from verbs that get used a lot, right? And here is a list of 5 irregular usted and ustedes command forms. And these need to be memorized. For dar, it's going to be usted de, ustedes den. For estar, we're going to use kind of the endings for ir, right? Usted esté, ustedes estén. And then it's going to be, the emphasis is going to be in the last syllable. Esté, estén. For ir, it's very different, right? Usted, vaya. Ustedes, vayan. Saber is also a kind of a little bit difficult to recognize in the imperative. Usted, sepa. Ustedes, sepan. And verbo ser, usted, sea. Ustedes, sean. Let's take a look at the examples. Vaya a la cocina. No estén tristes. Sepan las conjugaciones. No sea negativa. And then remember those spell changes, right? When they end in car, gar, and zar. So we can keep the same sound. We're going to change the spelling. Buscar, busque, busquen. Right? The ending is regular. The only thing is that we need to change the spelling. Pagar, pague, paguen. Empezar, empiece, empiecen. Busque la solución. No, no pague la cuenta. Empiecen a estudiar. No lleguen cansados.